What about now? Is it better now? What about now? Oh, okay, now we have audio. Is it better now? What about now? Oh, okay, now we have audio. Is it better now? What about now? Oh. Audio appears to be A-okay. Although I heard myself 700 times. Concerning. Is everything alright, guys? Are we good to go? Oh yeah, I wanted to shrink my camera a little bit. I can't seem to be able to do that. Is it locked or some stuff? Oh, it's on the camera. Ha! Jesus, Twitch is really hurting me today, guys. They claim to have sent me an SMS code. Oh, don't go away. This is a rocky start, but it looks like we are doing well. Yeah, I allowed ads on. Unfortunately, I allowed ads on Twitch. Poor guy needs to make some money, right? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to analyze two games. I actually set the ads at a 45 interval, 45 minutes. The Twitch default is half an hour, so I feel like I'm being a very nice boy. I managed to shrink the camera a little bit. Okay, all right. Okay, let me grab the bookie that I need today, and we're gonna be good to go. Just a second. Okay. Whoop. Book was running away. Please bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm streaming to YouTube. So it would be good to refrain from profanities, preferably in the chat. Else I can hide the chat. Which, by the way, also means that I should be keeping a tab on YouTube. And I'm also live on Kick, by the way, believe it or not. Whoa. So, hello to the YouTube folks. I have opened that one up. Someone chucked a subby in Lost in Ekamai. Whoa, that doesn't sound like a familiar name to me, buddy. Welcome. Cheers. Cheers. Trying to figure out where you might be from, but Ekamai doesn't sound like anything to me. And I get disturbed at the worst possible time by some text messages. Or rather, Facebook messages. From some lovely female. Okay, I will read this later. Neighborhood in Bangkok. Haha! That's the final destination, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, gentlemen only. That is the destination. Bangkok. I mean, isn't that a speaking name in itself? Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome in. Today I'm going to analyze a game that I have done a day or two ago in a chess lesson. And oh, Jazz, did you see my latest YouTube video, baby? And did you see, more importantly, the comments? People are in love with you, mate. You are the new rock star. Just saying. So, I had a lesson where I analyzed this game and I figured out that it was absolutely brilliant. And so I thought that I was going to share this with you now, guys, because I love you. And then I'm going to analyze the game that I played yesterday online, which I found super fun. So without further ado, let's dig in. We're going to have a look at this check variation. Horse to d7, d4, knight f6, and e5. The most popular line here is knight c3, and then after take with the queen. No problemo. e5 is very provocative. And here black actually has a multitude of great responses. By which I mean one. Chat, can we guess the best move for black here? Raider Dark, thank you. I don't know you either, man. Looks like the European time zone is helping me to get some love. Oh boy. Okay. So, what is a good move here, ladies and gents? Queen a5 was played in the game. Not best by any means. Ah, I don't remember if I saw the email. I will check it out. I'll check it out. So, Queen a5 was played in the game. Not best. Let's try again. D takes E does not help black at all. In fact, it creates problems because after D, white is going to have more pressure on the pinned miner. So now there is a better one. And hello to the kick viewers. Now I managed to get there too. Knight d5 is usually met by this super obnoxious e6 idea. You need to keep that in mind. Or castles first to get out of the check and then e6. It's really, really nasty. CD, that's it, folk. Well done. CD is the name of the game, ladies. Check this out. So black doesn't care about the hanging piece, instead they take on d4. And the point of the move is to cut out knight c3, so that when we take this, then comes the check. And now black is gonna regain the piece. And a very comfortable position with it too, because what's there to worry about? Alright. So, that was the one that black missed. Instead, queen a5 was played, which is definitely not the best. Knight c3 was played. Knight e4 was played. Servus, Lotzi. Says PVD, who started using the Geller Gambit. Make sure that you learned that through my Chessable course, the Club Players D4 repertoire, where you find all the awesome details for it. Right. If you guys don't know this game and you can guess White's move here, I will be over the moon with pride. It's a very tricky one. I don't think I would have found this idea unless I had seen it before. Does anyone know what to click on in Kick to change the name of the stream, by the way? Just out of curiosity. After c3, queen b5, knight cd4. No. Now, queen goes back to a6 and it cuts out castling. That's a very annoying idea. Folk, I like it, but unfortunately that's not sound. We definitely need to cover the bishop on b5, but there is a super creative way to do that. Oh wow, the YouTube chat is going bananas. That's awesome. Who says that I am the best coach on YouTube? Thank you. a4 is close, but we have an even better move than a4. a4 is already the perfect way of thinking in terms of recognizing that knight takes c3, b c3, queen c3 is not a problem, because then bishop d2 comes. Ladies and gentlemen,
hey Andres. Hey everyone in the chat.
This mad lad, the Belgian novice, has been a supporter of the chat, rather the stream, for 63 months. That's more than 5 years back to back. Bloody heck, dude, you deserve a statue. If I could make one, I would. Chat recommends castles, but that fails to defend b5. Obviously, we can insert bishop d7, but we don't want to. b4 is no bueno, guys, because after queen b4, c3 is hanging for free. Plus, after b4, I can also take c3 and d1, so I don't like that. That does not look appealing. Guys, can I ask one person in the chat to please watch me through Kick? In the unlikely event that I get a raid from the Braz and I miss it like I did last time. That was very awkward. I would like to make sure that I thank them. Yeah. So, no takers as to how to defend this bishop. Now, we need to keep it here. The pin is too valuable. So we don't want to pull it back yet. Yeah, queen e2 wouldn't be bad, but then after knight c3 takes, we don't have bishop d2 anymore because the rook hangs. It feels like everything we are trying kind of gives something back to black. It doesn't fail, it's just not good enough. The link to Kick is kick.com/chesscoachandrash. Knight e2 fails to defend this. Queen d3 is playable, but it's a bit clumsy. You really need to, guys, think outside of the box. And Ellis Code has done that, although his coordinates are a little bit off. So it's rook b1. By far the best move according to the engine. Knight takes e4 definitely takes the cake as the best recommendation because that's illegal. But rook b1, ladies, that's the move. The idea being that after knight takes b takes, the bishop is guarded. As a matter of fact, additionally to that, the rook is now on a semi-open file. So every time we take, we get to pick off the b7 pawn as well. And once again, queen c3, bishop d2 is just unplayable because black falls behind in development too much. So, instead, black he played a6. What would you do here? Yeah, that's right. It's obvious in hindsight. Lone, thank you for watching me on Kick. Appreciate you, buddy. b4? Isn't that... No, because of knight takes c3. Nah, b4 is bad, guys. Forget b4. b4 allows knight c3 and then the queen hangs. Yeah, Freudstein, you are correct. Correct. Bishop takes d7. Bishop takes d7 and castles. The only agenda we have now is to pull ahead as much in development as possible. Tabi Mawon asks us why. Now the obvious answer is 42, but if you could elaborate on the question, I could elaborate on the answer. So, black proceeded to take. Take. I would do if I knew what elaborate meant. It means to say the same in a little bit more explained way. In more detail. E6. And this is the time, ladies and gentlemen, in every chess game. Super important. When you put the book down, you remove the headset, and you ask your daughter to make you a hot tea. That's what's happening now. But only if you have an awesome daughter like I do. Izzy, can you please be a rockstar, sweetie? Tea, please. About here, 2 sachets of peach. Squeeze it somewhere. Now, please. Thank you. Did you fast? Can you do that now, sweetie? You rock. Chop chop. Alright. I'm back. There's ladies here. Yeah. Dude, I'm streaming. The only question is, are there dudes here? Right, so what do we do after e6? Am I considering the pawn captures on every move? I don't know. Hello, Kira. See ya. Kira, are you a lady as well? Because Kira is a beautiful female name, but it might be their surname. So I'm a bit torn now. I have to decide if yet another lovely lady or just a dude. So I don't know what pawn takes you're talking about, but d3, e4, there are no pawns on that square. You mean c3 and d4. But taking on d4 makes very little sense, because it just makes the center stronger. Taking e5 makes no sense, because it centralizes the knight. So it was your first proposition. No, it was the second. I don't need to look at those because they're all bad. That's it. Like, DE brings in the knight, CD gives up center, so I don't look at them because they just look rubbish. Which, by the way, is my way of being unnecessarily cocky in chess. I often make mistakes because I am wired that way. But it also means that, in general, my chess is wired correctly. And in the vast majority of cases, I save a lot of time by having a good sense of what's right and what's wrong. So, did I have a question? Yes. The question was what we do, and the YouTube chat is beating the Twitch chat because YouTube chat is yelling at me d5. Which is the correct move. Oh, decisive moment. You are a lady too. Loving it. Oh, Kira, confirmed female too. Hello? And you dare to ask if I have got ladies in the house. I mean, look at this. If ladies don't come to this, the world wouldn't be as beautiful a place as it is. So, what is there to know about d5 is the following. When your opponent's king is stuck in the middle like this, your number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 objective is to ensure that it stays there. The most obvious move to accomplish this is to open up files as soon as possible. So we are aiming to blast the center open. Hence d5. Now comes one of the trickiest questions. Because black here captured the pawn on a2, if I recall rightly. Of course I do. I'm a legend. I'm an absolute legend. What is the appropriate response to this move from white? That is the big question. Not as obvious as it may look. Bishop somewhere. You need to consider the fact that queen takes d5 is a super obnoxious soul c4 black to offer a queen trade. We do not want that. Lost in Ekkamai. I need to look up this Ekkamai. It sounds so cool. I wonder what I'm gonna find when I look up Ekkamai. Ekkamai Bangkok. It is indeed. Tanon Ekkamai. What is Ekkamai famous for? We're not gonna click that. Okay, rook b3. Spot on, brothers and sisters. Spot on. The reason why we do this is because it completely cuts out the queen. And queen d5 is no longer a possibility. In contrast, rook takes b7 would be a catastrophic mistake, because after queen d5, we would have to trade queens. And we have zero desire to do so. Hence rook b3. Hey, Noam Chess. ED was played. Next question. What do we take now? This, or this? Two good answers, one very bad answer. Ackerman, were you here when we discussed that the biggest advantage of our position is that the opponent's king is stuck in the middle? If you were not, then I'm telling you that that is the reason why we don't want a queen trade. We also do not want a queen trade because black has 2 bishops. So, the question was, out of these 3, what do we take? Banana Boy says ED6. Kik is not talking to me. YouTube is very, very, very heavily divided. So, correct answer, we want to take D6. B7 is also okay, because black no longer has queen D5. Queen takes D5 is the only really, really rubbish move, because it walks headfirst into bishop C6, after which black can safely castle. And I'm actually beginning to prefer black here, for sure. Bishop e6 is a blunder, right? Because then I take b7 and black resigns, right? So I don't know what exchange this is winning, but it's losing a game. Yeah? Behold, remember that when you calculate an idea, that's not where you stop calculating, that's where you start calculating. So let's avoid all this catastrophe and take on d6 instead, yeah? Which now threatens with a rook check. Yeah, exactly. Calculation. What's that? I think they played here bishop e6. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And now comes the star move of the game. And whilst that's happening, I'm going to check on my tea because I have a bad feeling that it got forgotten. If you don't want to make my tea, then say it, mate. Where is it?
She didn't do it. Then why did you not finish it? Why don't you help Daddy? Because he's doing everything. I think I want to help you.
All right. So, what is our recommended move, ladies? Jesus, why is my stream so laggy? I'm like half an hour behind. I just came back and on my screen I just left the room. That's crazy, city. Dr. Gruda comes in with the goods with D7. No chat, which book is he using? Top secret. I'm not telling you that yet because I might review the book. D7. So delicious, man. So damn delicious. It is a really, really cool move. The whole concept, or rather I should say that the concept of the whole chapter in this book is about the fact that when you have got a far advanced pawn on the board, usually it becomes an extra source of tactics. Like, your opponent constantly has to reckon with you throwing that pawn in one way or shape or form to discombobulate your opponent's defense. If anyone in the house knows which grandmaster loves the word discombobulate, I'm going to give you a thumbs up. There's a very likable commentator, GM. Oh, look at that. That was an insta-answer. Zimo Williams, indeed. Simon Williams, yes, he loves the word Ginger GM, discombobulate. GM Sherlock Holmes. Now, if anyone knows why that was a brilliant joke, I also give you a thumbs up. But I don't think many people will understand that reference. Discombobulate means something along the lines of wrecking by causing chaos. Something along the lines of that. I did get the joke. But I don't know if anyone else did. Discombobulate, disconcert or confuse. That's the online dictionary's response. So if I'm not mistaken, the Sherlock Holmes reference came because the Sherlock Holmes movie, its music was composed by the greatest music composer ever, Hans Zimmer. And one of the songs, the theme songs of that movie, I think, is Discombobulate. Or the word discombobulate is part of the title of the song. Anyway, so D7 was played. Yeah. Hans Zimmer track, that's it. Bishop takes D7. What do we do now? By the way, I do pride myself on the fact that my stream always somehow brings up some degree of trivia. The great Carlini. Why does that name ring a bell? I don't know. Rook E1 good. Queen D5 also good. Rook E1 was played first. Now, this is, guys, the star variation of the game. After Bishop E7, White here has got an absolutely breathtaking win. It is nothing short of incredible. Sack the rook! Sack the rook! Indeed. But we don't have good old Levy now here. Because for some reason he's busy making excuses for the various mess-ups that's happening with the Kramnik-Yospem match. Which is a catastrophe in itself, so it's a double catastrophe. But I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy, so yay! By the way, shout out to Levy, because he has returned to the righteous path, and he's now once again attempting to get his Grandmaster title. And I would like to wish him the very best with that, because without any irony or cynicism, it is a really difficult path. And he needs every help he can get. So, I'm going to show you this line not because I am a douche, but because it is a really, really messy, complex line. Check this out. Very forcing though. Rook here. Queen c4. Put your pieces in the center. And here comes the key move. A sensational key move. c4. All it does is that it opens up the third. These are those dynamic moves that always make me re-fall in love with chess. When you just look at this rook and you go like, what a piece of poo. And after c4, it becomes the hero of the day by virtue of being able to join the party wherever needed. Bloody amazing. Check. Tell me if I'm going too fast. Check. And black resigns because there is too much hanging. That line, ladies and gentlemen, is just absolutely brilliant. And this is virtually forcing. I mean, black can choose different ways of losing, but it is forcing from rook a3 on. No, it wasn't the only winning line, not at all, no. There were other ways to win, but this is by far the most convincing. I mean, according to the engine, after bishop g5, black's best is castle, so you could argue that this is more winning. Who can tell me what's wrong with f6? Dr. Kruda, none of it. It's impossible to see this line when you play d7. 95 is very, very talented. 95 is slightly illegal. 95 is very, very gifted. But there is no point to showboat because queen d5 is just complete carnage takes. And then you have 95 with multiple deadly checkmates. Game over. That's it. It's actually already mate in 14 from me, believe it or not. After the file is opened is when I struggle the most. I don't know whether to check with queen or rook. As a general principle, it's always rook. Because usually you want to keep the queen for the ultimate punch. So unless you have a very compelling reason to start with queen, it almost always is rook. Alright, go back. So this is what happened in the game. They played bishop e6. What do we do? Knight g5 allows queenside castles, and as such, it's not desirable. I realized that actually I can keep the book open and put it down on the table with face up so that I can read it. Instead of putting it face down. I only needed to go 25 moves deep to recognize that, yeah. Yeah, queen d5, because it cuts off castling. Bishop e7, played. Queen b7, rook d8. Now there are many ways to win here. Impress me with one. Rook e6. I don't know about this. This doesn't look to me particularly convincing. You need to here constantly worry about this. I definitely wouldn't play that. Absolutely not a chance. Basically, the idea is that as long as you put something on g5, we are winning. Whether it be knight or bishop, it doesn't make a difference. In the game, white played knight g5, but bishop g5 also wins very, very handily. Black took. And this is where you need to have your head screwed on. What is the move for white? The obvious move. The obvious move. Servus, Mate. Are you the Schmate dude from Twitch? Queen e6 check. It is absolutely imperative to play this move. Bishop takes g5 is a horrid move here. After castles, black immediately equalized. That's it. We went from +5 to dead equal. Because bishop takes, rook takes, and now this is hanging, this is hanging. Yeah. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm talking rubbish. I can just take this. Yeah. So, no, definitely not. The move is queen c6 check. Because that denies castling rights. Rook d7. And I want someone to call out the rest of the game. King f8 loses to bishop g5, yeah? So, rook d7. I won the rest of the game. Rook b8, bishop d8. And we might resign, yeah? Let's not get carried away. YouTube chat says rook e6 check, but I am not looking at anything that is not a full line. I want a full line. What's your opinion on Levi's book? I haven't seen it. But if I understand it correctly, it's a beginner book. And it's very, very difficult to write a bad book for beginners. Like, you have to try very hard to write a rubbish beginner book. So I'm pretty sure it's great. I guess that was a very backhanded compliment. I didn't mean to sound negative about that. Oh. Someone said rook takes, pawn takes, bishop takes. Which is a beautiful way to get back rank mated. Let's not go there. So a lot of people wrote in check, takes, and check. What happens if I block it? A good friend from Hungary who has already been mentioned before, the legend who already went to vote today, because Hungary is voting today, ladies and gentlemen. He recommends that this is what we need to do. Now, the funny thing about this game is that a lot of people, even he, don't realize that the point of this check is not to do too much in particular against the black king, but the fact that it was a discovered check on the queen. And when some people see it, they just got noticed now. They go like, what? Wait, how? What? How is this? This has been on for like, what? Yeah, even the man who recommended the move himself missed it. That's very funny. That's golden. Queen c6 actually loses the game instantly to king f7, so let's not go there. Let's just take d8 and take the free queen. Yeah, I know. This is one of those that is so easy to overlook. So easy. They played king d8. And you can tell me the finish. Please don't blunder mate again. That is so difficult to calculate. No, I very strongly disagree with you, Banana Boy. Actually, it's Banana Boy. Check and mate. And I tell you why I disagree with you. And I do get into arguments with people about this on a regular basis. And I use the same argument all the time. The reason why this line is easy to calculate after rook takes e6 is because it's a straight line with no side variations. So you don't have to calculate a lot of branches, and you don't have to remind yourself constantly that I have calculated A, B, and C, but I need to calculate 2 sub-variations in A, 3 sub-variations in B, and so on. It's one straight road. And when it's one straight road, even low-rated players can calculate really far. Because they are not challenged on the way. They don't get discouraged by the large number of black's possible responses. No, that's also, I refuse to accept that argument, also for the exact same reason. If you calculate one line only, it's not difficult to visualize at all. And I tell you what I mean by that. It's a relative measure, because nothing is easier to visualize than one line. So when you tell me that it's difficult to calculate one line, my counter argument is that everything else in chess is harder than calculating one line. So my usual argument, and a lot of people get disheartened by this, is that calculation doesn't get easier than calculating rook e6 here. It only gets harder, because it is going to get wider in terms of sidelines, and it's going to get deeper in terms of how far you have to calculate. Also, and this is another reason why this is easy to calculate, all of it is checks. Check, 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 and the final non-check, and that's it. Which makes it super forcing, which narrows the path down for both sides even more. The only thing that is easier to calculate than this is forcing mate in 2s and forcing mate in 3s. That's it. Everything else that is calculation in chess is harder. Sad, but true. I can share the PGM with the chat, but I think it's now going to come with all the analysis I have done along the way, so it's going to be a red hot royal mess. And character limit issues there too. Instead, I could tell you the name of the players. That would be helpful. You can find it in both databases, or rather I should say both big websites. I think it was Mastro Vasilis against Andreikin. Hey, Loren, how are you going? By the way, sorry, I forgot to acknowledge your greeting. Sorry, I'm busy with telling people about... No, Mastro Vasilis against Volokitin, 2017. I will type it in because it will cause problems. Mastro Vasilis, Greek GM. And I will chuck it in the... Someone can please put it in the YouTube chat for me. The elections confused you. Thank you, Zeth. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, hello, Gambit Gambat. Oh, sorry, I didn't read what Lauren asked me. The only thing I can see as difficult isn't the calculation, but seeing the idea of the discovered attack. Yeah. Now, if someone had said that, I would have agreed. The difficulty of this line is the surprising end to it. Because when you calculate a line like this, you generally speaking expect a checkmate. Which is why Mate continued calculating here with checks. Because he had this natural gut instinct to go after the king. Which, by the way, is the right instinct. But there was simply no need for it because speaking of the queen was good enough. And in fact, the only way to win. Once you see that, you are golden. But, and now I'm going to put the final twist on. Already at this point when you take on e6, if you are a crafty tactician, you recognize without calculating that there is a discovery possibility here. And that just gets stored in the back of your mind that from here on out, you have got kind of two targets. You can go after the king. Failing that, discover check nets the queen. That's it. Oh, that sounds like a chess comment actually, that's hilarious. So, my Hungarian friend Mate is telling me about the Hungarian election, and his comment on YouTube was that I don't think I've ever seen that many bad candidates on a single piece of paper. And that could be literally a sentence from a chess book. How do you recruit new students these days, coach? Well, without wanting to brag, I don't need to recruit any students because I get about 10 coaching requests a week. So I don't exactly need to go out of my way to find new students if I were to look for some. Yes, Rook e7 does threaten mate in 1, but our mate in 1 is a bit punchier. Banana Boy, I have got, my friend, some book recommendation YouTube videos for you. Right, so that was game number 1 for today's stream, and now we are going to go on to game number 2. I miss your takes on the Kramnik Fiesta. There's a reason for that, because I'm trying my best to not to react to that absolute catastrophic show. I don't think you will find it, Lauren, because I played it the other day and I tweeted about it too. First of all, there is absolutely 0 point for those two individuals to play against each other. None. Absolutely none. It's like literally two kids in kindergarten going like, whoa, my bicep is bigger than yours. No, no, no. My bicep is bigger than yours. Okay, let's have a fight. Yeah. Because that's gonna determine whose bicep is bigger, right? And so they go to the sandpit and they have a fight. Whoa! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Massive shout out to the legendary lady, Hannah. Thank you so much, Hannah, for the... Ooh, I messed it up. Thank you for the Raid Arena. I hope you had a golden stream, as always. Cheers to you. Welcome, stream... welcome, Raiders. One Aussie to the next is gonna be the theme. Oh, that's where Tindy was, of course. Hannah, if you are still here, Twitch Are Pimps is a questionable username, but it hides an absolutely superb human, and he's a big fan of yours. Let me just say that much. Yeah. Right, I don't know where I was. Yeah, so it's a total catastrophe. Like, that match is going to determine absolutely nothing. Absolutely, because what if Kramnik wins? Then Jospem is a cheater. Like, that's how the chess works. The chess world works. Or if Jospem wins, then Kramnik's accusations are completely refuted. Like, I don't understand even the whole premise of get them together and play them against each other is just so pathetically childish. Oh man, like nah. Sorry, I just lose my shite over it. But he didn't need to prove anything, that's my point. And he doesn't prove anything by playing X amount of blitz games against Kramnik. If he has anything to prove, he has already done it online. Which is ironically where the accusations are, by the way. It's just ridiculous. It's one of the stupidest things I have seen in the past 20 years in the chess world. Yeah, I don't blame them, by the way. They are the least of my concern. It's the people around them and the hype and the expectation and the clash of claims. It's like, piss off. It's just stupid. Absolutely stupid. Sorry, I think I did not manage to not to respond to that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The money-wise, it was a great score. No doubt. But anything else, just absolute, utter brain deadness all the way. And that's not even a word. And yet, that was the most sensible thing I could say about this whole thing. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, our second game for the day is going to be one that I played the other day. By the way, Raiders, if you haven't known me, chess coach András here, international master, doing usually educational stuff and ranting, as you could see. Mostly ranting. No, I actually do mostly educational stuff. So, this is the game I played yesterday. And this game gave me more pleasure. Ooh, this is a tough sentence to finish. Than many that I played over the board ever in my life. And it's actually not even a particularly good quality game, but the ups and downs in it were just next level. So, if chat is done with the Kramnik nonsense. No wonder. Technically, no. But I would recommend you to reach out anyway, because I do run occasional group sessions and stuff. So, yeah, it can't hurt. Alright, let's go. So, this is a game I played with Black the other day. And I really enjoyed it. And somewhat, at least, I'm dedicating this game to Twitch App Imps, who I'm trying to persuade to play the Modern/Pirc for funsies. Because he's one of those guys who just can't stand the idea of constantly engaging with theory. And as a Sicilian player, obviously, he was exposed to lots of Alapins and open Sicilian theories and Mora gambits and all kinds of insults. No, my pleasure. Yeah, that's right. He's a Dragonista, but I think he's getting sick and tired of the early deviations in the Sicilian. So, let's go. I am putting it forward that this is a poor quality game. Bishop e3, a6, this is one of the modern ways of treating the modern, floating the idea of b5. a4, now this move made me happy, because bishop e3 introduces the so-called 150 attack, right? Which is f3, queen d2, castles, and then g4, h4 checkmate. But, if they play a4, the likelihood of white castling here is very remote. And I looked upon it, as a minor victory, because all of a sudden I felt a lot more comfortable allowing bishop h6 ideas, and therefore play knight f6 and castles, because I thought that, well, this king will have to go somewhere. So I played knight f6, f3, castles, queen d2, and this is where I played the move that I regret that I have done. And as soon as I played it, I regretted it, because I realized that I made a slight move or a mistake here. So I played e5. There's absolutely nothing fundamentally wrong with this move, but I think it is actually smarter to start with knight c6 instead. And the reason for this is because I really want to provoke d5. Because what that does is that it allows me to bite into the center from multiple angles, further highlighting the fact that the king is uncastled and is not so easy to castle. f4 is not a good move here at all, because now I can go after the bishop. And then I can go after the center. This is a textbook example of what counterpunching looks like in the modern. And black is already much better. Check this out. All pieces developed. All of them. And we got this from just playing knight c6. We just went from regular stuff to kilometers ahead. No, but don't blunder that, buddy. Yeah, h3, no worries, it come back. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna sack something here. Actually, no. I have a better idea. There is a winning move here for black. Who can find it? And that's the only good move. Knight h6 would be catastrophically stupid, by the way. Can't believe I said that. What is black's only move, which wins handily? Yeah, c5. Always look to counterpunch. Game over. Game over, folks. Because now the bishop, take is not playable, so they have to take like this. And scoring the dark squared bishop in general in the modern makes your bishop an absolute beast. And now, guys, this is where things just go out of control. Like, now you just go b5. But that's attacked by 3. That's exactly why we played. That's exactly why we played b5. Look how it falls apart. Take, take, take. And now the queen is hitting e4. Not to mention the check. It's already -3. I mean, hello, black has 2 bishops, a castled king, a raging initiative, and white has a king that is still 2 moves away from castling. This is not playable. So, what I needed to do was knight c6. And the reason why is because, let's say they play knight e2. If I play here e5, d5, then after knight e7, when I play c6 next, the d5 pawn is gonna get under quite heavy firepower. What happened in the game was that I played e5, they pushed in, I played c6, thinking that your center is falling apart, bozo, and they played bishop c4, and I went like, oh sheesh, I can't take on d5. Now, according to the engine, I should have, and I'm not proud of the move I played. Let's just go with that. Yeah, I don't know what got wrong with me. Maybe I thought that b5 was available, because when you have c6 and a6, you naturally assume that you go b5, but you can't, because it's hanging by too many. It's just not playable. And I just panicked here for a second because I don't want to take. I should, but I didn't want to. I can't play knight d7 because I lose a pawn, and that's a fat pawn too. So to resolve all the problems, I know it's yucky, I played c5. Now, it takes a man to play c6, get bishop c4, then, you know, go like, okay, well, it is the time when you take off your headset, you take off your glasses, so that you can appropriately facepalm yourself, preferably with both hands, because of what the hell. So ceremoniously, you facepalm yourself, and you go c5. Is it bad to take d5? No. That's what I had to do. I needed to take this, but I didn't want to. Right? After knight takes, bishop takes, I just couldn't bear the sight of this bishop. I just couldn't. The life of little Kimmy. We are doing chess education here, friends. So if you would like to get better at chess, you are at the right place. If you were hoping for a try-on haul, which is becoming a very popular YouTube genre, by the way, you are not at the right place. So yeah, I just couldn't bear the sight of this bishop, the pawn structure, the whole lot. I'm like, nah. Save a lot! Cheers, buddy! Is this your first time playing the King's Indian? Well, since you are trying to roast me, buddy, let me tell you that actually, no, it is not. I spent about 20 years of my life playing the King's Indian, which it is not. It was a Pirz or a modern. In a King's Indian, this pawn would be here, good brother. But thank you. I love you too, mate. I love the geniuses who come here to roast. That's genius talk. Thank you, Save a lot for the raid, buddy. So, I played c5. I was not having a good time at this point. Oppo played g4. And here I played another really bad move, which I would... Ah, Naniva! The StarCraft legend is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. I was thinking about you the other day, buddy, because I haven't seen you for ages. I hope you are doing well. I hope Uni is treating you well. So what do you think, guys, I played here? I'm telling you two things about the move I played. Not the best by any means. In fact, not even top 3. 2, it's aggressive as hell. Nani, yeah, I'm playing in the non-European time zone. H5 was actually one of my candidates. H5 was, and it is a great move. Fair enough, Twitch. Fair enough. B5 fails to this. Rook A7 does nothing. And H5 is definitely spot on. Naniwa is very close. I sacked the piece, but not with knight. I went with the bishop. Now, I sacked the bishop because the idea was to try to get the light squared bishop. Right? If you sack like this, that makes less sense because although technically it prevents castling, but I can always interfere with knight e2 and then I can do whatever. I'm not saying it's worse, but I thought that strategically, as much as I can talk in such a way about technically a blunder, I thought that bishop g4, it rolled better on the tongue, so to speak. I don't know how to say it. It just felt healthier. Yeah, guys, please check out my YouTube channel since you guys are all first-time viewers here, please. So, check out what happened, because from here on out, you are going to see one of the best chess games you have seen in a long time. So, check this. Take. He went bishop g5. I played f6. And he played h3. And I kid you not, I was on the verge of resigning here because I thought that if I took g5 and they took on g4, then my bishop is even worse than before. So there was absolutely no point in obtaining that dark squared bishop. And I'm just down a piece for nothing. I don't understand your question, Fenofir. I'm sorry. is f6 acceptable since blocked by the center? No, f6 is acceptable because it's a fat tempo on the bishop. And if the bishop goes here, bishop h6 was going to be my move, activating the bishop. Like, it has no bearing whatsoever on what's happening in the center. Yeah, Chinese, I meant that it's a poor quality game, but it's extremely entertaining. Yes! So what I did was that after h3, I realized that I could sack the knight on f2. Which was the first really cool move that I played in the game. Maybe not the first, if you want to count bishop g4, but that's objectively shady. Whereas this one is actually quite sound. And this way, although my bishop is still blocked in by the pawn on g5, but the pawn itself is mobile. So if I want to, I can break it with g4 and reopen the diagonal. And from here on out, you are in for a ride, ladies. Check this out. Queen g3. What would you do here for black? I'm so confused, Avi. You said before to push the H pawn. What? What? What if they push G... What? What if they push G5? They don't have a G pawn. Man, I would love to answer that question, but I don't understand that. Avi, can you please rewrite that question? Those of you who saw the game because I posted it on Twitter, please do not ruin the fun of others. Before sacking the bishop, what is your question, buddy? I'm sorry, I'm not following. Oh, you said h5. What was your question? Oh, I get it. So you wanted to know what happens if after h5, g5. You, generally speaking, drop the knight back, whether it be d7 or h7, it doesn't matter. And then you break with f6. Sorry, I didn't mean to ridicule you. I just didn't realize that your question was referring to a position 5 hours ago. Right, so, tuck, 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 f6, f2, tuck, tuck, best move. Not even close, but I played rook f4 and I would do it any day of the week. And by the way, now that I'm looking at the eval, it's hardly worse according to the engine than the top 3 moves. And that's exactly the point. The only reason why I went to f4 is because I wanted them to take it. Queen f6 I don't know about, because what are we trying to accomplish here? It's not bad. No, it's definitely not bad. I do see, for example, if castles, then we can check and open up this diagonal. It's very counterintuitive to trade queens after we lost a piece. But white's pieces are so bad that black has some counterplay here. But overall, it's not really creating a threat because both of this and that square are covered. So yeah, Tabi, that's exactly what happened, and that's what turned the game around. So rook f4, they played castles. I played knight d7. They played knight e2. And I'm like, please, please take me. And since I wanted to play queen a5, but that move would hang g5, I played here the utterly vanilla but cunning h6. And I'm like, please, please take me. They did. I took back with the E. And at this point, I'm a full rook down, right? One rook down. I've got 2 pawns for it. 2 pawns for the rook. I would like you to guess the valuation of this position according to the engine. What do you think the engine thinks about this position? Yeah, I sacked the piece and then an exchange. Hence, I'm a full rook down here. Oh, you can see the bar. Sheesh. How do I make it go away? There you go. Fudge. Cheaters. Yeah, a slight... yeah, a tiny part of the bar could be seen on the left side. So, I tell you what. When this position occurred, I thought that it was better for black. I couldn't necessarily evaluate it numerically. But to put it differently from numbers, I was gonna say that I would pick this with black any day of the week. Any day of the week. Turns out that the eval is about 0.05 minus. So black is a teeny weeny bit better if white plays god tier chess. You are down a whole piece in an exchange. Yeah, that's in English called you are down a rock. No. White has a lot of issues here. That's the problem. That white has a lot of issues here. Because no matter what you do with white, knight e5 is coming, b5 is coming, and you are getting shredded apart. From here on out, it's gonna go, guys, such one-way traffic, it's not even funny. Check it out. Queen g4, knight e5. Check, king h7. Yeah, knight takes f4 was a tragic mistake. Because what it does, if you think about it, is that at the cost of an exchange, he gave me 2 pieces to function like crazy. Like, that's pieces on... That's pieces on...
Greetings, coach.
Pieces on steroids. Like, this is the best bishop you will see today, and this is the best knight you will see in a month. H4 is scary. No, it's not. That's not even a move. So, yeah, without taking, both of these pieces would suck. Miserably suck. Which is why I was like, please take me. And they did. How is H4 great, scary, buddy? Like, isn't it hanging? Hello? I can even push past. Like, that's just absolute nothing. That's a bluff. Yeah, no. H4 is nothing. Like, by now, they really need to play super precise chess to stay alive. They played it bishop b3. I played b5. Now we are down to -2. And I mean, just imagine you have white in this position. And you're sitting here thinking to yourself, yay, I'm a rook up. What do you do, man? Like, sometimes it's just quite amazing in chess that material doesn't translate to being able to do things. Like, good luck, Chuck. Yeah, exactly. You take on b5, and that allows yet another attacking piece to come after you. So, yeah, we are going from bad to worse to terrible. Yeah, you grab the pawn, queen a5. You grab the pawn, queen b4. Mate. GG. You play king b1, I play c4. It's absolutely insane. Like, right now, white is a rook, up, full rook up. And the best move, according to the engine, is this. That's how awesome this attack is. Second best move by the engine, queen e8. Whoa, boy. So, yeah, let's go back to the game. So, I played b5. They played rook f1. b4. Knight back. c4. It's just, the position is playing itself. They draw back. What would you do here for black? I played best move apparently. Rook c8. Would I have played that? Probably not. No, I would have played h5. b3 is second best. In fact, depending on how deep you go with the engine, it might be first. I played queen b6 because I wanted to combine this with this. Note, by the way, that the absolute total dark square domination. No, it's not losing, but it's not a good move because now your queen can't move without hanging the rook. Like, I don't understand the purpose. Whatever you were hoping to prepare, that was good to go already. Yeah, queen b6 is better because that hits both ways. c3, check there. And this is pretty much over now. Already -7. How to improve openings, especially theory Sicilian. That's interesting language English, but sorry to be nasty again. Well, I guess you need to start looking at opening theory, which you can do in a myriad of ways. Chessable courses would be one. They play knight d4. Tac tac. What do we play here for black? It's a sadistic move. Chessable course is really good. Dude, you're asking someone who has got 15 chessable courses published. What do you think I'm going to say? No, they are rubbish? Come on, man. Of course they are great. To be fair, I do use a lot of chessable courses myself. But I'm also one of the most prolific authors there. Queen d3 check, that's the name of the game. Because you want to take c3, but if you can, why wouldn't we take it with check? That's a very good lesson for you, Tabby, that when you want to get greedy, be greedy in the proper way. Check first, because then no matter which way they go, you get to take it with check, which allows you an extra attacking move. King c1, takes, and after rook b8, unfortunately they resigned. I would have really liked to finish the game with a mate, but it wasn't to be. By the way, at this position, I was very seriously contemplating this queen sacrifice here, which ironically is a draw. The idea was to go check, and I saw this mate, and I was so hopeful that this would work. But unfortunately, after the check, They have king b8, 1, and after rook b8 check, bishop b3, there is no forced mate. There's a perpetual check here, but that's it. If that had worked, that would have made it pretty much the best game of the year that I played. This queen b2 check. What is rating roulette? Rating roulette, my friend, is a type of fun game that we play on stream. And if you watch the YouTube videos, you will see what it's all about. And actually, in every single YouTube video, I explain what it is in the first 30 seconds. It's basically 3 games, 3 rating averages. I need to guess which game is married with which rating average. And I also analyze the games. It's a bit of a combination of fun content with educational content. Alright, ladies, we are gonna call it a day now because my voice is still very, very problematic. Who is Angelica Ken or Chan? Yeah, it was a short one. It was intended to be that way. It was intended to be that way. I apologize, but my voice is still very, very weak after recovering from COVID. So, sorry guys, but that's gonna be it. Also, this was streamed on YouTube, and when I stream to YouTube, I like to keep it sensible length, so that when people decide to rewatch it later, you know, it doesn't feel like an overwhelming amount. Other people stream for 3 hours on average. Yeah, I'm happy for being other people. I am not other people. And other people also don't stream when they have COVID. You are welcome. Yeah, so I look to be back with longer streams. But for now, I think we are going to call it. By the way, I'm just very curious now. Was it really only an hour? It felt a lot longer than that. That's what she said. Dudes, it was more than an hour and a half. Take a chill pill. Alright, we're going to raid Sefru. And yes, we will take it from here. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. And in order to make sure that I can stream again tomorrow, maybe a day after, I'm going to call it a day now. Have a good one.